I'm just going to say it. There's a lot of television shows right now. Seriously, there's so much. Netflix is a powerhouse, but we've finally reached a stage in the streaming era where Amazon Prime and HBO Max have found their stride too. When it came to television this year, it didn't take long to get its act together, because the content carousel never stops spinning. It's up to you to grab what you want while it's spinning. The first few months of 2022 have provided a dizzying array of premium series to pick from. To stay ahead of things, I've compiled a list of the top 10 series you should add to your playlist. So please remember to like and subscribe to this channel before we look into this list. Now let's get started. Number 10, Encounter. Riz Ahmed follows up his Oscar nomination for The Sound of Metal with a paranoid sci-fi thriller that looks like a cross between Take Shelter and War of the Worlds. Ahmed portrays Malik Khan, a seasoned Marine who goes AWOL with his two sons to shield them from an alien invasion and military officers seeking to keep the threat's secret hidden. Malik shows up at the house one night, wakes up his two sons and informs them that they are going on a road trip. Malik is driving with his boys when they come across a police cruiser and he instructs them to get down. Malik is pulled over by a different cop some hours later. The cop is aggressive and arrogant, despite Malik's politeness, and Malik notices something shifting behind his eyes. The cop has been affected by a parasite entity from another planet. Malik wrestles the cop's gun away, knocks him unconscious, and then abandons him in the street. Back on the road, Malik tells his boys that they are on a rescue mission, not a road vacation. He claims that the Earth has been overrun by an alien parasite and that their mother has been infected. The alien parasite, which uses human bodies to replicate, might infect up to half of the population. Malik says he needs to bring his boys to safety and that they can use bug spray to protect themselves from the parasites. The film is written and directed by Michael Pierce, who also directed the outstanding 2017 psychological thriller Beast. So expect some gut-wrenching turns and plenty of meaty material for Ahmed to work with. Number 9. A Hero. This gripping morality story from Iranian filmmaker and two-time Oscar winner Asghar Farhadi is receiving excellent reviews from reviewers. It follows Rahim Soltani, who is temporarily released from prison for 2 days to pay off a debt owed to his brother-in-law Bahram. Farkhonde, Rahim's lover, has found a lost handbag containing several gold coins, which they both try to sell to clear the loan. But gold has lost value to the point that Rahim is unable to repay Bahram in whole. In the interim, he relocates to his sister's home with his husband Hossein. Miller finds the handbag and money and confronts Rahim about it, prompting Rahim to track down the purse's original owner and return it to them. Rahim is commended for his altruistic deed, and his tale is broadcast by the media before he returns to prison and becomes a local celebrity once the original owner comes to recover the bag. Bahram is immediately skeptical of Rahim's story, believing he is attempting to rehabilitate his image and get out of prison to prevent his ex-imminent wife's second marriage. Rahim's release is being planned by the prison. Nonetheless, suspicions about the man's genuine objectives lurk beneath this seeming gesture of kindness. Number 8. The Book of Love. Sam Claflin portrays the kind of stuffy British romance author who discovers that his new work has become a major sensation in Mexico, prompting him to travel there for a book tour in this hilarious, lovely romantic comedy. After he arrives, he discovers that the Spanish version of his book has been reworked into a lot spicier story that is far more engaging than his original story, due to Veronica Echegay, the woman who translated it. This is the kind of classic rom-com idea that I just can't get enough of. Number 7. Master. Regina Hall provides one of her best performances in this horror film about racism in The Manner of Getting Out. According to The Buzz from Sundance and SXSW, she portrays a professor at a prestigious, predominantly white New England university with a history of bigotry that dates back to the Salem witch trials and continues to this day. Racism at the institution is a physically haunting one for her, a black first-year student and another black faculty member named Amber Gray. It's a confident debut film from writer-director Mariama Diallo, who knows how to scare while still making social commentary. Number 6. Top Boy. The production history of the cinema drama Top Boy is quite interesting. The series, which aired on Channel 4 for 2 reasons between 2011 and 2013, was shelved by the network in 2014 and appeared to have passed its course until Netflix stepped in a few years later, due in part to interest from Canadian rapper Drake. Now in its second season on Netflix, the show is going from strength to strength, broadening its scope while remaining as fascinating as ever. Ashley Walters and Kane Robinson have given outstanding performances throughout the series run, and excellent Michael Ward has joined them since the Netflix revival. It's an engrossing, gritty crime thriller that skillfully juggles more intimate human tales with broader goals, making the most of its setting. Number 5. The Last Kingdom. The Last Kingdom is an action-packed drama series partly inspired by real British history. It should appeal to Game of Thrones enthusiasts. In American Horror Story, Alexander Dreymon portrays Uhtred of Bebbanburg, a ferocious warrior who was born to a Saxon nobility but raised among Danish invaders. As the struggle for England continues, he's torn between the two opposing realms and must choose a side. Dreymon is the show's breakthrough star, with his sassy character embarking on several intriguing missions in his desire to recapture the land that is rightly his. David Dawson received praise for his portrayal of the religious King Alfred, who is both a friend and a foe to Uhtred at various points in his life. The first 3 seasons electrifying components in their intricate friendship. The Last Kingdom began as a BBC Two drama before transitioning to a Netflix original. It's based on the popular novels by novelist Bernard Cornwell, while the show has never had the lavish budget of George R.R. Martin's fantasy epic. It sure has managed to stage some epic battles throughout its 5-season run, with plenty of swords, horses, and of course, blood. Number 4. Inventing Anna. Shonda Rhimes' first show since Scandal is this limited series, and the genuine story that inspired her to pick up Final Draft again is a doozy. It's the one-of-a-kind narrative of Anna Delvey, played by Julia Garner of Ozark, a wealthy German socialite who swept New York society by storm in the mid-2010s, only to discover she wasn't wealthy or even legitimately German. Anna Sorokin was a con artist from Russia who used her near-supernatural self-confidence to defraud a variety of people and institutions out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. She rose to fame as a result of the sensational New York Magazine story, the writing of which drives the action of Inventing Anna, as writer Vivian Kent attempts to answer the question, how did Anna become famous? And who is Anna Delvey? Number 3. Moon Knight. The already vast Marvel Cinematic Universe is about to expand even further. Mark Spector, a mercenary with dissociative identity disorder, is based on the Moon Knight comic books. After being left for dead in the Egyptian desert, he comes into contact with the statue of the moon deity, Khonshu, and comes to life with a new sense of purpose, morphing into the titular crime fighter who may or may not have Egyptian iconography-related powers. Kevin Feige describes the series as an action-adventure in the vein of Indiana Jones during a Disney Investor Day presentation in 2020. Number 2. The Invisible Pilot. Gary Betzner, a daredevil crop duster pilot in Arkansas, is a protagonist of the series. Gary, who was flying Superstar trained in the Navy Top Gun program, a fact that is briefly mentioned in the first episode's pre-credits tease and then mysteriously never mentioned again, even though it seems relevant at several points, has survived as many as 11 plane crashes over the years. In 1977, however, he drove out onto the bridge with his wife, Sally, in the car and jumped. His body was never located, leaving Sally, Sarah Lee, and Travis alone with the daughter from a previous marriage, heartbroken and perplexed. Gary faked his death, thus his body was never recovered. The Invisible Pilot's first chapter is a smorgasbord of intriguing true crime details. After a half hour of death faking, the series moves on to cults, hypnosis, and the introduction of the 1970s drug trade with plenty of heavy-handed surprises and the highly suspicious claim that cocaine is the best therapy for gout. Number 1. Somebody Somewhere. It's difficult to describe Somebody Somewhere. It's more like seeing an experience than watching a story. In her hometown of Kansas, Sam has always felt like an outcast. However, she eventually discovers a group of people who share her hardship in life. Amid a lot of loss and sadness, Sam emerges as a lady attempting to find grace and acceptance. This is a part comedy, part drama, and entirely too true for everyone who has ever dreamed of leaving their hometown. The series is raw and unfiltered. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos like the one you just saw. If you have a movie you were expecting on the list, or if there's one that shouldn't be on the list, let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching.